Wednesday morning, everyone, and welcome back to Billing Insights, your favorite podcast for medical billing. My name is Taylor.
And I'm Anita.
And today we are super excited to tell you about GMS Learning Academy's new price list that we just released. So we're going to go over all of the classes that we have available on our website, which is gmslearningacademy.com. That's G as in golf, M as in Mike, S as in Sierra, learningacademy.com. And all of the different prices because we have made it very affordable for you.
Yes, we have.
So, first up on our list, we have the Certified Professional Billing course with AAPC. So it's in partnership with AAPC. It is valued at $4,990. We are having it on our website for $3,995. And you also get 40 CEUs, or continuing education units, if you are already certified through AAPC and you need those CEUs to continue your certification. You get 40 CEUs when you take our class.
Or even if you're just a new biller and you want to take that experience and get certified, you can use that for your first certification and those 40 units that you'll need to continue onward. So it's really a good deal, and we're super excited to offer it to you.
Yes. Now, next on the list, we have how to start and grow your medical billing company. This is valued at $900, or just listed at $995. This is something Anita has been working on, so why don't you tell them about that?
So this is super exciting. It's how to take your medical billing company, starting at the first thought you have. So I need to figure out what to do and how to decide on a name. Is that something that somebody else already has? What about my logo? And going onward from there to how do you get your information to get your taxes? How do you find an accountant? Where do you go once you've got your billing company started, and how do you get software? What do you do from that point? How do you get clients? And if you're a super nervous person or shy person, how do you do that professional speaking so that you can hopefully get courage to talk to these clients? And how do you practice? And just a lot of different parts involved in this. It's a multi-week class, so hopefully it'll be fun for everyone.
Right. Don't be nervous. So next we have how to start your independent practice for physicians and other providers. And this is listed at $750, also something Anita has been working
so
on.
The first class on the medical billing one, I just didn't say, it is actually complete and live on our website already. The how to start your physician's practice for new providers is about 3/4 of the way done. I should have it done by the end of this week, so it will be going live shortly. Everything is complete. I'm just doing the voiceover parts at this point. So you have a mixture of videos, PDF, quizzes, and just various things to help hopefully make it easier and more fun to learn.
Right. So then we have the CCC, the Credentialing Crash Course, which I think is also the title we used on our 2-part video about credentialing and contracting. So if you want kind of the less in-depth version, you could go watch those videos already live on our YouTube, Billing Insights. But the Credentialing Crash Course is listed at $475, and that's going to tell you everything you need to know about all of the different types of paperwork.
And how to do them.
Right. And all of the different licenses or certification, your liability insurance, things like that. So then we have HIPAA and PCI compliance at $29.95. This is something that is required for your employees to take at least once a year. Here at GMS, we do it at least once quarterly.
Yes, we do.
Do you have anything to add about that?
It just kind of goes over all of those HIPAA things. What sort of things can go wrong if you accidentally say something on the phone that you shouldn't have said to a person who's not authorized? What should you do then to fix it, and how do you report issues if you have a person who has violated HIPAA? What do you do? So
right. So then we have electrical safety. This one, I'm losing my spot here. $19.95. Don't stick your finger in an outlet.
Kind of pretty important. But it's not just electrical safety per se, but it's also how to keep your office workers safe from any sort of electrical or fire damage. Making sure that you're checking those frayed cords and keeping track of everything. What happens if you notice that there's a problem with your electrical wiring or things like that, and how to go about shutting off the power if you have a power surge or something like that. So important things to follow, and again, it is required once a year.
So then next on the list is something I've been working on. This is telephone etiquette at $19.95. So very affordable, and if you do have your own practice, you most likely would want your employees to take this course because it's very important as far as building that patient relationship. And all of the little encounters that your staff have throughout the day. You want to make sure that they are professional and handling situations appropriately. So, the telephone etiquette's basically how do you talk on the phone? What do you say? Here's some free scripts. We do offer some free scripts in there if you need some templates. So that's pretty useful.
I did want to mention, because I forgot while we were talking about this, we have tons and tons of free scripts and free policy and procedure manuals. Back in the medical billing company, we have a lot of procedure manuals and free guidelines and things like that, as far as things that will make it easier for you as you're starting out. And even on the physician side, we've got tons and tons of free handouts and things like that that will help from trying to figure out how to determine what part of your business is the best and where to go about marketing and things like that. Tons and tons of free little sample handouts and things that will be really useful for everyone.
In many of our classes, so go check them all out.
Yes.
But yeah, so telephone etiquette, it all starts with taking the call. There
Yes,
you
it
go.
does.
Fraud and abuse prevention, that's $39.95. So this is going to go over the difference between fraud and abuse, and how to report if things go wrong, and how to prevent it in the first place so that you don't have that happen. Then we have medical necessity and denied claims, $25. When claims deny for medical necessity, what do you do? What do you need to have documented? What do you send in?
How do you do an appeal?
Right. So then we have OSHA guidelines for office safety, $15.
So for OSHA, there are things that are required. It's a required yearly. Again, there are a lot of required yearly things that you have to take, and so these classes are really useful. But it's guidelines like if you have bleach in your office, what sort of paperwork do you need to have if you have an employee who suddenly spills bleach in their eye? What do you do? Those kinds of things. So OSHA, if you were working in a contracting and you were building houses, the things that you might be told to do would be like to wear a hard hat so that the employee doesn't hurt their head. If they're climbing up a ladder, they have to be told, how to properly use the ladder and things like that. So OSHA guidelines are really important to prevent employee injuries. And again, it's classes that are required to be taken yearly. So
next on the list, we have computer safety at $15 an hour. So computer safety, this is going to be what do you do with an unidentified flash drive, the different types of phishing, and how to just not get scammed on the internet.
Yes.
And any part of the scary side, the hacking and all of that, that's what computer safety covers. You may be very aware that recently we've had a lot of hackings, and as far as the healthcare industry goes, there have been several different hospital systems that have been hacked. You may recall, is it last year? Or at this point, it was 2 years ago.
1 year.
So last year, the Black Cat Gang had taken over Change Healthcare. So if you've been a provider within the last year or so, you're probably familiar with that situation.
Terrible.
But that's what computer safety goes over. Only $15 to save yourself from being hacked. I think that is a steal.
Important.
Okay, so then we have combating sexual harassment in the workplace, $15. Title.
Yeah, so it just goes over making sure that your employees are aware. Some things, you might not think that some person might be offended by, but it could happen, and it could be very easily something that could get you in trouble. So it's the kind of things to avoid and learn how to be more appropriate in the workplace and what you say, but also how other people view you.
Right. Now I feel like I'm saying right a lot. But next on the list is workplace bullying, also $15, and also title.
So workplace bullying is just those little comments and little snide remarks that might hurt another person's feelings or make them feel bad about themselves. And you might not even realize that you're doing it or saying it, but it could lead to a lawsuit if someone is very offended. So it's those sort of things to make you aware of how you react around certain people and hopefully prevent those issues.
Supervisory leadership course, $125. So if you have a lot of staff, you may need tiers as far as who reports to who, sort of a chain of command. So anybody who's in a supervisory or leadership position should definitely take this supervisory leadership course. It'll get them trained up on how to address situations with employees, how to do disciplinaries, how to build your employees up, how to understand them. They all have different learning styles, so we'll go over the different learning styles, things like that.
It's actually super fun. It's a multi-week course, and we do have real-world examples and different little class participation things that we do they're actually pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay, now we have a distinction between the next two classes, which are both in regard to pain management, but the first one is pain management documentation guidelines for $59.95. Anita, take it away.
So for documentation guidelines, we are going to look at different policies and procedures from different insurances, including Medicare, Blue Cross, United Healthcare, Cigna, Aetna, and look at the documentation requirements that are for each type of pain management procedure that might be given by your clinic. And we go over the most common ones, but we do go over a few that are not so common. And again, what are required for documentation so that you can make sure that you're meeting those requirements when you're trying to get a prior authorization or even in a post-payment review.
Okay, so then the second pain management related class is interventional pain management coding and billing for $49.95.
So that we're looking at specifically CPT codes and the requirements for those CPT codes as far as what sort of things must be done to meet the guidelines for billing for those codes. So if an insurance, for instance, says, hey, you have to have certain pre-procedure things done, such as they must have physical therapy or they have to see a psychologist or something like that, we give you those those CPT code requirements so that you can make sure that you're meeting all of those guidelines. For instance, NSAIDs, that's another one. They have to have had that, or they might have had pain for so many number of months before a certain procedure. So we will lay all of those guidelines out and make sure that all of our pain management physicians are aware and up to date on those guidelines. We will be updating this class every time something changes with an insurance. So stay with us.
Okay, so next is recovering aged accounts receivable from insurances for $49.95. Also title, any outstanding claim that has a balance. It'll teach you how to recover the aged AR.
So how is the best way to go about, especially if you're a new provider or a new medical billing company, what's the best way to go about handling your aged accounts receivable? Do you go alphabetically, A through Z? Do you go from highest to lowest? Or is there a better way to look at it as far as maybe your most high dollar total AR bucket? So you're looking at 30, 60, 90, 120, and then more, hopefully not more, but some companies can have high AR. So how do you go about retrieving that, and what's the best way to handle your insurances when you're doing appeals or working that follow-up?
Okay, so now we have benchmarking and reviewing your practice management KPIs or key performance indicators. This is for $35 and kind of just helps you figure out your stats. Look at your own stats.
So is your company doing excellent, good, poor? And how can you tell if the company that you currently have, whether it's in-house or if you have a third-party company, how can you tell if they're doing a good job? I'm sure they're all telling you you're doing a great job and that everything looks wonderful, but how can you tell? And this is another one of those classes that we have handouts that will give you an information as far as how you look at benchmarking yourself against your peers and against nationwide other providers to look at if my 120-day AR is 45%, is that an acceptable range? And if it is acceptable, how do you rate on everybody else against them? So hopefully you're not at 45%, because I can tell you that 45% is terribly high and you should be less than 15% under your 120-day AR. So something to think about.
So the final class on our list at this moment in time is Neonatology Coding and Documentation for $49.95.
And that's super fun for me. It's something that I really enjoy, as well as pain management. And we're learning all about the CPT codes and documentation together in one course. And it's how to put things together so that your documentation then reflects what you've done for the day. And this is all for neonatology, so it's for sick newborns in the neonatal ICU. So again, fun to do as far as coding and billing goes, and hopefully it will be enough information to make sure that you're documenting and coding appropriately.
So those are all of the classes that we currently have in the works. Not all of them are live, as Anita said earlier. We do still have some classes that we are working on that are on this list. If there is anything that you would like to see added to our website, go ahead and leave a comment or reach out to us in any of the many forms that we've made available to you.
I do want to say we have some exciting news that will be coming up in the next couple of days. We have some major meetings going on with some nationwide people that we cannot name until after the 20th. But it's super exciting. We will be in partnership with actually a couple of different nationwide groups. And after the 20th, we will be coming on with another drum roll, another video, kind of giving you an update on what's going on and what future services we will be offering.
So stay tuned.
Absolutely.
But yes, new classes are added regularly. So if you have anything that you want us to add, go ahead and send that to us. And then a question I have received is, will we be able to teach classes that are not about medical billing and coding?
That would depend upon what type of class they're asking for. So I am, as you may or may not remember from way back in our very first podcast, I am a nurse practitioner, but also a nursing instructor. So I taught nursing students for quite a while, and have since moved into teaching these medical billing courses and then other courses as well. So I'm certified to be able to teach a wide range of products, but what specific questions do we have as far as not medical billing classes?
Well, I mean, that's something we'll have to look into. That's as far as we got with the questions there.
Questions there. We do get a lot of questions, and we're very grateful for you guys who give us questions. It kind of gives us an idea of what opportunities there might be out, or things that we can help people with. So please keep up with the questions, and we will definitely respond to you.
And then I'm not sure if we already said this at the very beginning of the price list, but I did want to say that the Certified Professional Billing course does include anatomy and pathophysiology, which if you were doing it through AAPC by itself,
it's an additional
they do
class.
have them as separate classes instead of a combined course. So if you go with us, you will have the combined course.
Yes, you will.
But okay, so we're ready to wrap things up here. So just, take our courses. And we will see you. Oh, wait. Now I'm fast forwarding too much. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate your support.
Like, comment.
Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share. And we will see you in the next video. Class.
Oh.
Bye.